contacting your sphere on a regular basis to make sure that, again, remember, 65% of homeowners use an agent they have a relationship with or was referred to them. So a high number of people in the segment of homeowners in your CRM within your SOI, the better your relationship with them, the greater chance that you have of transacting with them or them referring business to you. Now, as you look at renters, the best part about this is that a period of renting is most likely going to be a part of every person's life. But why is it that some people buy their first home when they're 18 or investment property when they're 20, and then some people have to wait till they're 40? Well, there's financial reasonings to it and credit and life choices. But for most people, what it is it's a lack of a relationship with a local professional who is enthused, inspired, and educating a renter to better understand all the programs, availability, capability, and options for people to better their wealth and financial situation using the relationship of real estate. So let's dive into the basics of contacting your sphere and operating machine-like, meaning that if I have 100 renters or 100 homeowners in my database, a couple things should be happening. One, we should be reaching out to them on a quarterly basis to have a conversation and know what is transpiring in their life, family, work, recreation, to the point where then we can talk about their thoughts, hopes, and dreams on how that relates to where they live and or real estate. The next part is, ideally, we want to get to the point where they're receiving one email a week. Now, again, though, we don't want to spam people. So this is not always just a newsletter or a headline. What it is relevant information to that segmented group based off your content calendar and the strategy or the goal for why we are marketing to them. So for a renter, that could be things that are going on in the city. It could be a market outlook and report. It could be some fun things to do that are within the areas that people live. It could be, your comments and feedbacks and thoughts about what is happening in life and overall relating that to real estate. But at the end of the day, this is geared towards marketing to them as an individual, knowing that it's coming from a list. That's why we want to segment these lists to smaller groups. The homeowners, it may be emails regarding what's happened in the market, the impact of home values in a neighborhood, the changes on what's coming to a neighborhood that will impact home values, recreational things like we were talking about, relational things, invites to events. So all these things that are included in what you're doing to make sure that not only do you talk to them voice to voice, but they're also receiving a form of digital communication with you. As you start looking at next, you should be throwing a quarterly event to bring your sphere together. So again, ways to be social. Every person has something a little different on how you segment that. But remember, as you start growing a large list, there's only going to be a percentage of people that attend your events. Now, outside of events, you should be having some type of monthly or weekly seminar, meaning for renters, do you put on a seminar once a week within a specific time period or once a month? Do you put on a seminar for sellers or homeowners once a month? So then that way there's always a constant invite for them to get involved in your events, your seminars, your webinars, things that may relate to a level of education based on their interest level of where they are at. The nice part is if they're not there, but they're interested in learning about it, they're going to have a better chance of referring you because, again, they're receiving information that you can constantly ask who else should be receiving the same stuff they are that they believe would appreciate it. And the nice part is it's not always just give me a referral of who can transact. It's give me a referral of who else should I add to this database. Most likely, they are going to share people that have some type of interest in real estate, which will lead to a transaction. Now, as you also start looking at, could I, as you start growing a center of influence or a sphere at a slower rate, but working it more effectively, I could send a mailer to the people in my center of influence as well. You think about it, 70 cents on the dollar. Do I have $70 a month to budget to send a mailer to this database as it continues to grow and as it continues to turn over at a higher rate in optimization, meaning 10% of your database turning over to transactions on an annual basis, you start going, well, gosh, you know what? I think I definitely have more money to contribute as I'm making more money from this audience. Now, the next part that we'll cover is how do we effectively initiate business conversations, because right now what we're talking about is involving them in your business, but most importantly on the quarterly basis, connecting with them voice to voice to make sure they know you and they like you. And over time, as you're marketing them, they'll start to trust you because they see you doing a lot more. They're considering that what you're doing is helping a lot more people. So how you do it, they believe that you may be a better approach to the person they should be asking questions and or feedback. And we're going to talk about here in the next video how to effectively initiate these business-based conversations with your sphere.